President Abdel-Fattah El-Sisi has ruled Egypt since leading the coup that toppled Mohamed Morsi in 2013. Since then, he's come under increasing fire for cracking down on dissent in the name of fighting terrorism. Caught up in that is an Egyptian-American human rights worker, Aya Hegazi. She and her husband have been detained by the government for more than 2 years. Charlie Rose sat down with President Sisi when he arrived in New York for the UN General Assembly this week.
We have watched in Egypt President Mubarak leave government, President Morsi overthrown. You have taken command and been elected president. There are those who worry that if Egypt doesn't change, that you might face the same kind of revolution that came about with the Arab Spring. Do you worry about that?
Now there is a constitution, there is a state with institutions, and now there is an Egyptian president who cannot stay in office any other day more than his tenure.
Many people are saying that the United States will have to reconsider its relationship with Egypt if there is not a dramatic improvement in your human rights record, that there are non-governmental organizations that are being seized, that journalists are in jail, that there is a crackdown on human rights, and it's offensive to the United States government because it goes to the heart of American values. And they believe in some cases you are doing it and using security and the threat of terrorism as an excuse to solidify your power, and that it approaches authoritarianism.
No president will be able to set one more day in his chair beyond the tenure, because the Constitution will not allow him, neither will the Egyptian people. This is one thing. The other thing is that we are trying to strike a balance between stability and security, because this country cannot be violently shaken, because if it is violently shaken, there will be a lot of consequences on the country and on the region.
But that's not the cause. Those people who are human rights advocates are not the cause of the security threat. I mean, I want to raise the case of Aya Hegazi, an American citizen, been in jail in Egypt with her husband for 2 years. She ran a nonprofit to help street children. That's a real concern to the United States, and you know about that case. She's not a threat to Egypt's security. She's not a terrorist.
We address any issue in Egypt within the legal framework of the laws applicable in our country. This is very significant, very much committed. If you want to make our judiciary system stable and strong, we have to all obey the legal framework of the laws applicable in our country.
You say you respect the rule of law, and you say we want to do this with the parliament. I mean, but it's damaging to the image of Egypt.
We're talking about a turbulent region. We're talking about an extremist faction. We're talking about factors that want to destabilize countries. We need to be very sensitive when we deal with all of this, while being committed to the human rights. But at the end of the day, we need a country that is stabilized. Otherwise, there will be many, many violations of human rights if this country is not stable.